It's so easy to let life's challenges, people's opinions, and even the noise of the world throw us off balance. But what if I told you that you have the power to remain unshaken, no matter what comes your way? We often find ourselves tangled in the worries of others. Maybe it's someone who is critical, someone who doesn't understand your path, or someone whose negativity feels like a weight on your shoulders. But here's the truth: no one can disturb your peace unless you allow it. The key to overcoming worry is not in controlling others, but in controlling your reactions. It's about responding from a place of strength, not from a place of fear or insecurity. Life is full of challenges, but the power to remain calm, to not let anyone steal your joy, is something you can master. Think about your energy. What are you feeding it? When you let others' worries or criticisms affect you, you are giving away your precious energy. This energy should be focused on what matters: your growth, your well-being, and your purpose. Don't waste it on things or people that don't serve you. You see, we can't control what others do, but we can control our reactions. We can choose to focus on the things that build us up, not tear us down. We can focus on what we can change: the way we think, the way we react, and the way we view the world. And finally, remember this: you are powerful. You have the strength within you to rise above anything that comes your way. Let no one worry you because you hold the key to your peace. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Ladies and gentlemen, always choose peace, always choose strength, and always choose to live a life where no one can take away your inner calm. Because the moment you let go of the need for validation or approval from others, you unlock your true power. When we talk about embracing inner peace, we are referring to the ability to cultivate a sense of calm and balance that comes from within, rather than relying on external circumstances or other people's behaviors to determine our emotional state. This is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself, because it offers you a freedom that nothing external can take away. It means you are no longer dependent on the ever-changing tides of life to feel grounded. Instead, you learn to navigate the world with a steady heart and mind, no matter what happens around you. In a world that constantly challenges us, from demanding schedules to difficult relationships, it's easy to be swept up in the chaos. We are surrounded by noise, expectations, and sometimes even conflict. But imagine for a moment being able to sit in the midst of all that and remain calm, centered, and at peace. That's what inner peace looks like, and it's something that each and every one of us has the ability to cultivate. The foundation of inner peace lies in self-awareness. When you become aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and the patterns that govern them, you gain control over how you react to external stressors. Many times we allow ourselves to be controlled by the events around us without realizing that we have the ability to step back and choose how to respond. Inner peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to remain unaffected by it. It's the recognition that while you cannot control everything that happens to you, you can always control how you choose to interpret and react to those events. A key aspect of inner peace is letting go of the need for control. It's an essential shift that many of us struggle with. We often want to manage every detail of our lives, from how people perceive us to the outcomes of every situation. But the reality is that life is unpredictable, and the more we try to control it, the more stressed and anxious we become. True peace comes from accepting that there are forces beyond our control and learning to flow with them. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you open up space for peace to enter. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals or aspirations. Rather, it means acknowledging that the journey may not always go as planned, and that's okay. The goal is not to fight every wave that comes your way, but to learn how to ride them with grace. This acceptance of life as it is, rather than how you want it to be, is one of the most profound sources of inner peace. Inner peace requires a deep sense of self-compassion. Too often we are our own harshest critics, beating ourselves up over mistakes or perceived shortcomings. We let the judgment of others, whether it's from family, friends, or even society, affect our self-worth. But embracing inner peace means learning to silence those inner voices of doubt and self-criticism. It means treating yourself with the same kindness, patience, and understanding that you would offer a dear friend. Part of this process involves letting go of past hurts, grudges, and regrets. Holding on to negative emotions from the past only robs you of your present peace. Inner peace comes from releasing the weight of the past and being fully present in the moment. It's the ability to forgive not just others, but yourself as well. When you forgive, you free yourself from the chains of resentment and open your heart to peace. Building inner peace is also about finding balance in your life. It means making time for self-care, for rest, and for the things that nourish your soul. It's about understanding that your well-being matters. So often we prioritize the needs of others and neglect our own. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally creates the foundation for lasting peace. When you are at peace with yourself, you radiate that peace outward, affecting everything and everyone around you. In the end, inner peace isn't a destination, but a journey. It's a lifelong practice that requires dedication, but it's also one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. When you embrace inner peace, you begin to see the world through a different lens, one where you are not swayed by the opinions or actions of others, where you are not overwhelmed by life's challenges. You realize that peace is not something you need to search for outside of yourself. It's already within you, waiting to be discovered and nurtured. The more you tap into that inner peace, the more resilient you become, and the more joy and clarity you invite into your life. When we talk about controlling your reactions, we are acknowledging a profound truth about life. While we cannot always control the events that unfold around us, we have complete control over how we respond to them. This is one of the most empowering concepts you can embrace. By mastering your reactions, you take back the power that external circumstances often seem to steal from you. Life will inevitably present us with challenges, difficulties, and people who may test our patience. But it is in these very moments that our power lies not in the event itself, but in how we choose to react to it. Our reactions are often automatic, shaped by our emotions, past experiences, and beliefs. In the heat of the moment, it can feel as though we have no control over our responses. But the truth is, we have the ability to pause, reflect, and choose a response that serves us rather than one that harms us. This is not an easy skill to master, but with practice, it can transform your life. It's about shifting from a reactive state to a proactive one where you consciously choose your reactions rather than letting your emotions dictate them. One of the most important aspects of controlling your reactions is understanding that not everything that happens is a personal attack. Often we react based on our own insecurities, fears, or past wounds. When someone cuts us off in traffic, when a colleague criticizes our work, or when a friend doesn't meet our expectations, it's easy to take it personally. But in reality, most of the time, the other person's behavior has nothing to do with us. People's actions are often a reflection of their own struggles, fears, or frustrations. When you recognize this, you can start to detach your emotional response from their behavior. For example, imagine a situation where someone says something hurtful to you. Your initial reaction might be anger, frustration, or sadness. But when you take a step back and reflect, you might realize that their words are more about their own issues than about you. In that moment, you have a choice. You can choose to react with anger and defensiveness, or you can choose to respond calmly, with understanding, and without allowing their words to control your emotional state. This ability to pause and choose a response is the first step in controlling your reactions. Another powerful tool in controlling your reactions is mindfulness. When we are present in the moment, we are less likely to be swept away by our emotions. Mindfulness helps us become aware of our emotional triggers, giving us the space to choose how we want to respond. For example, if you feel yourself getting angry during a conversation, mindfulness allows you to notice the physical signs of anger, your clenched fists, your racing heartbeat, and pause before reacting. In that brief moment of awareness, you can decide whether you want to lash out or whether you want to respond calmly and with composure. It's important to recognize that controlling your reactions does not mean suppressing your emotions. Emotions are natural and they have a purpose. But what matters is how we express them. We all experience anger, frustration, sadness, and joy. The goal is not to eliminate these emotions, but to prevent them from controlling us. By controlling your reactions, you allow yourself to express your emotions in a healthy way that doesn't harm yourself or others. One of the most effective ways to control your reactions is by practicing self-regulation. This involves taking responsibility for your emotional state and understanding that you are the one who decides how to feel. Self-regulation is about being in tune with your emotions and recognizing when they start to take over. It's about having the discipline to pause before reacting and to consider the best course of action. It's also about being kind to yourself and recognizing that, while you may not always respond perfectly, each moment is an opportunity to do better. When you learn to control your reactions, you begin to build emotional resilience. Life will continue to present challenges, but you will no longer be at the mercy of your circumstances. Instead of reacting with fear, anger, or frustration, you will respond with calm, clarity, and confidence. You will become someone who is steady, unshaken by the chaos around you. This resilience will help you navigate even the most difficult situations with grace, knowing that you are in control of your response. At its core, controlling your reactions is about taking ownership of your life. When you choose your response, you empower yourself. You stop being a victim of circumstance and start being the creator of your own reality. You no longer allow others to dictate how you feel. Instead, you take charge of your emotional state and become the best version of yourself in every situation. It's a process that takes time, patience, and practice, but the rewards are immeasurable. When we talk about valuing your energy, we are addressing one of the most important and often overlooked aspects of personal well-being. Your energy is precious. It is the force that fuels everything you do, from the relationships you build to the goals you pursue. Yet many of us spend so much of our energy on things and people that do not serve us, draining our reserves without realizing it. Understanding how to protect and wisely direct your energy is crucial to living a fulfilled and purposeful life. At the core of valuing your energy is the understanding that not all energy expenditure is equal. Some things, people, and situations will uplift you, motivate you, and make you feel alive. Others, however, will drain you, leave you feeling exhausted, or create unnecessary stress. Learning to differentiate between these two is key to maintaining a high level of energy and vitality. Too often, we give our energy away freely to situations that are not aligned with our values or to people who don't have the best intentions for us. This depletes us, leaving us mentally, emotionally, and physically spent. The first step in protecting your energy is recognizing where it's being spent. One of the most common ways people waste energy is by engaging in negative or toxic relationships. Whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even a family member, we all encounter individuals who have a draining effect on us. These are the people who constantly complain, gossip, criticize, or bring drama into our lives. While it's important to support others, it's equally important to set boundaries and protect your energy from those who deplete you. This doesn't mean you should cut people off or stop being compassionate, but it does mean learning to say no when you've reached your limit and not allowing others to take more than what you're able or willing to give. Another area where energy is often wasted is in the pursuit of things that don't align with our true goals or desires. In our modern, fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded by distractions, social media, the opinions of others, endless to-do lists, and the pursuit of external validation. All of these things can drain your energy because they pull your focus away from what truly matters. When you spend your time and energy on things that are not aligned with your values or your personal vision, you lose clarity and purpose. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of superficial success or recognition, but this can lead to burnout. Instead, you must prioritize the things that truly nourish your soul, that help you grow. and that brings you closer to your vision for your life. In addition to external drains, it's also important to recognize the internal ways in which we waste energy. Our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions can be powerful forces, and when they are left unchecked, they can sap our energy. For example, overthinking, worry, and self-doubt can all consume enormous amounts of mental and emotional energy. Negative self-talk and feelings of inadequacy can also drain your resources, preventing you from showing up as your best self. The key to stopping this drain is self-awareness. The more you become aware of your inner dialogue and thought patterns, the more control you have over your energy. Rather than letting negative thoughts run wild, you can choose to redirect them, replace them with empowering beliefs, and focus on what you can control. Another crucial aspect of valuing your energy is learning to say no. Saying no is not a rejection of others, it's a recognition of your own needs and limitations. Many of us are conditioned to please others, to take on more than we can handle, or to say yes out of guilt or obligation. But this habit depletes your energy and prevents you from focusing on what really matters. By learning to say no, you protect your time, your energy, and your peace. It's not about being selfish, it's about honoring yourself and making space for the things that align with your true desires and goals. Equally important is the practice of self-care. Taking time to replenish your energy is essential for maintaining balance and well-being. Self-care can take many forms: physical activities that rejuvenate you, mental practices that relax your mind, and emotional practices that restore your spirit. Whether it's exercising, meditating, journaling, or spending time in nature, you must make time to recharge. When you make self-care a priority, you ensure that you have the energy needed to pursue your dreams, maintain healthy relationships, and show up as your best self. Ultimately, valuing your energy is about making conscious choices. It's about being aware of where your energy is going, what is feeding you and what is draining you. It's about setting boundaries both with others and with yourself to protect your well-being. It's about understanding that your energy is your most valuable resource and learning to invest it wisely. When you value your energy, you not only protect yourself from burnout and exhaustion, but you also create space for the things that matter most in your life. You become more focused, more intentional, and more aligned with your true purpose. And that is when you begin to live a life full of vitality, purpose, and joy. When we discuss being intentional with your time, we are talking about the fundamental practice of living with purpose and mindfulness. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and once it's gone, we can never get it back. Yet so many of us waste it without thinking, caught up in distractions, routine tasks, and the demands of others. To truly live a fulfilling and successful life, we must learn to be intentional about how we spend our time, making conscious choices that align with our values, goals, and dreams. Being intentional with your time starts with awareness. It's about recognizing how you're spending each day and how those choices are contributing or not contributing to your larger life vision. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but it's easy to feel as though there's not enough time to accomplish everything. In reality, the issue isn't that there's a lack of time, but rather that we often fail to prioritize what truly matters. We fill our days with small, inconsequential tasks, scrolling through social media, answering emails that could wait, or engaging in mindless activities that don't move us closer to our goals. This is why being intentional with your time is so important. It forces you to evaluate what you're doing with your time and decide if it's actually contributing to your life's purpose. Start by identifying your priorities. What matters most to you? Is it your family, your career, your health, or your personal growth? Once you've clarified your priorities, you can start to make intentional decisions about where you devote your time and energy. If your health is a top priority, for example, you might commit to scheduling exercise and meal prep time into your calendar every week. If personal growth is important, you might prioritize reading, learning, or taking a class that helps you advance in your field. The key here is to align your actions with your values so that every hour you spend feels purposeful. Part of being intentional with your time also means learning to say no. Many of us are accustomed to saying yes to every opportunity, every request, and every demand that comes our way. We want to be helpful, supportive, and liked, but saying yes to everything often means saying no to what truly matters to us. Every time we agree to do something that doesn't align with our priorities, we are taking time away from the things that matter. By saying no, you are protecting your time and ensuring that it's being spent on what truly adds value to your life. This requires practice and boundaries, but it's one of the most powerful ways to stay intentional with your time. Being intentional with your time also involves creating routines and systems that support your goals. It's easy to get lost in the chaos of daily life, but routines help to bring structure and consistency. When you have a set routine, you don't have to spend time figuring out what to do next or making decisions about how to spend your time. Instead, you can focus your energy on the things that matter. For instance, if writing is a goal, set aside specific times each day or week for focused writing and create an environment that helps you stay productive. Systems such as using a planner or digital calendar can also help you stay organized and on track. Another important aspect of being intentional with your time is managing distractions. We live in a world filled with constant interruptions, text messages, emails, social media notifications, and more. While some of these distractions may be necessary, many of them are simply a drain on your time and focus. Being intentional about your time means taking steps to minimize distractions when you need to focus on something important. This could mean turning off notifications, setting boundaries with others, or creating a designated space where you can work without interruptions. By controlling your environment and managing distractions, you free up more of your time and energy for the things that truly matter. Time management is also closely tied to rest and recovery. It's easy to fall into the trap of overworking ourselves, thinking that if we just work harder and longer, we will accomplish more. But in reality, our productivity suffers when we're exhausted. Intentional time management means recognizing the importance of rest and balance. Schedule time for breaks, relaxation, and self-care. This will help you maintain your energy and focus so you can be more productive when you are working. Time is not just for getting things done, it's also for replenishing and recharging. Lastly, being intentional with your time requires reflection. At the end of each day or week, take a moment to assess how you spent your time. Were you able to focus on your priorities? Did you allow distractions to take over? Did you make time for rest and self-care? Reflecting on how you spend your time helps you to make adjustments and improve your time management moving forward. It's also a way to celebrate your successes and acknowledge the areas where you can grow. Being intentional with your time is about more than just productivity. It's about creating a life that aligns with your values and brings you closer to your purpose. When you learn to manage your time wisely, you start to feel more in control of your life. You stop reacting to the demands of others or getting caught up in distractions, and instead, you become the creator of your own time. With intention, you can make every moment count, moving you closer to the life you truly want to live. Learning to prioritize your mental peace is one of the most transformative practices you can adopt for your overall well-being. Life is full of external pressures and challenges, but how you respond to them determines your emotional and mental state. When you prioritize your mental peace, you're taking the steps to protect yourself from unnecessary stress, anxiety, and negative influences.